Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast on another exciting day. Because today, at around midnight here by Central European time, but of course I think Eastern Standard Time is 3:30 p.m. Was it 6:30? I can't remember. Anyways, the Coming 2 gameplay trailer will be out on G4 TV. There will be a link on Facebook and everything, although I'll try to repost it. So, of course, you wonderful ladies and gentlemen can watch it. But again, the premiere of the Coming 2 gameplay trailer today. So, look forward to it. Also, I managed to actually get a contract with a YouTube network. So that should hopefully actually mean I can begin earning a bit of money. But on to the match. We shall be watching WMDSpanky. Fighting for the Americans, fighting for the 2nd Armored. Taking the fight to the Hun, to Yourmicroisshit. What a lovely name. Fighting though for the Wehrmacht, fighting for the 17th SS. With a pretty heavy Western bent. Initially, with the Volkswagen squad up first. From the Wehrmacht quarters, rather than from the barracks. Points are being secured. Connected, and a bit of wire going up there to sort of protect this initial area from any initial incursions. And hopefully keep this high munitions point temporarily safe. So far so good. Going for the victory point first though, not straight for the fuel, which is rather what I do. Then I take sort of the victory point on sort of rear-bound mission. Returning mission, whatever. Rather than heading towards the center of the missions there, fuel secure there, rather than squad 2 on the way. No, actually it's a Jeep. Interesting, WMDSpanky might go in for a bit of harassment right there then. That should be interesting to note how that will evolve. But yes indeed, ladies and gentlemen, again, Coming 2 gameplay trailer later today, again by Central European time. It will be 30 minutes past midnight. And by Greenwich Mean Time in this sort of centered area, that is in England, I'll probably be 1 hour before that, so go figure. Otherwise, there will be a YouTube video up the day after, where you can sort of watch it again and again and again and again and again until you can actually play the game. The Pioneers are coming under fire. Engineers, Jeep charging in. Points being secure, and there we go. We are seeing a second Volkswagen squad out for Yourmicro. Volkswagen's moving out, and thankfully this is actually a strategy game. So, micro is not the most important thing. Strategy and tactics are. Good heavens. Thank the heavens for that, otherwise I wouldn't be playing this. Anyways, Jeep moving about. Bit of harassment there against the fuel. Nice job. Bit spread out, but nonetheless could do nicely. Volkswagen's moving in, the Jeep charging in a bit. Should be careful though, a few good shots could render it inoperable. Another squad and some Pioneers move in. Jeep taking heavy damage so far, though the engine is still working. If the engine goes out, that could be the end of the Jeep. But no, the Willys Jeep does manage to get out of there. The Willys Jeep also used by the Soviets. Leaving British, and out in quite a few numbers. Points of security even used by the Germans, though the ones they actually captured. And a third squad out from Your not Your Mother, but Yourmicro. Pioneer squad there. So a pretty Volkswagen heavy squad. A bit rare where you see that. He could of course go for a much heavier Volkswagen spam, or he could of course then get MGs or something else to follow up. But it's a bit rare you actually see a Wehrmacht player go for 3 Volkswagen squads in a row. In particular, if they actually intend to go for something else than just Volksgrenadiers. But a nice move up here on the right-hand side. And currently, the problem is for Yourmicro is he's, a bit spread out. And his Volkswagens, of course, are not really made for that kind of work. They could easily find themselves overwhelmed and gone down into much more manageable pieces. Right here, they're getting shot at. The Volkswagens moving in from the rear. Other forces moving in. What is on the way from the Wehrmacht quarters, I do not know. Center secure there, right there by Spanky. 3 riflemen squads at Jeep, flamethrower engineers also. Pioneers here might actually want to move. And there go the Jeep charging into the rear of the Volkswagens, pushing them out. The Volkswagens are moving in. Oh, and an MG up, but it's setting up the elsewhere, and it's going to get rushed by the riflemen. That's again why you want to keep behind infantry. And there we go, the MG immediately rendered pointless and quickly rushed off. So not really a solid handling by Yourmicro. So not solid tactics. Again, you keep the heavy machine gun behind the infantry. Have the infantry lead the way, or some bike or something else. You do not send it in on its own. Rifleman down there. Jeep once more, although fully repaired, is getting pushed away again. Going for the cutoff there. Rather nice play there by the American. Scorching first with the flamethrower just to see if there are any mines. Good move. And Browning automatics are up for Spanky, keeping up the initial pressure. Nonetheless, managing to enter that neutral. And another MG42 up, so 3 full squares, 2 MG start. One of the more heavy ones, bit more solid. Can be used aggressively, can be used defensively. And mines going down there, lovely. Although your micro might have spotted that one. He might have, he might not also have. But continuing the advance up there. No mines there though from WMDSpanky. MG could sit up here and open up one of these chaps, because of course could then move in and finish up the job. Again, the Jeep moves in, flanks. Fulska's responding rather swiftly. Another squad moving in. If his cavalry got ticked up, he could even panzer-faust it. And looks like the Jeep is taking a southern route, swinging up behind to escape the clutches of the Wehrmacht. There we go, the rifle now coming down to MG5, Fulska's then pushing out under the arc of fire right there. Nicely elevated position. Riflemen suppressed, the Fulska's moving in to finish off the job and perhaps get a few kills. There we go, riflemen down. Although WMDSpanky's men are still holding out courageously. In fact, they managed to get out of the range of the MG, but the Fulskans are still doing damage. Although the Fulskans themselves, of course, taking rather incredible damage from the BR. And the MG42 setting up to actually cover as a flamethrower engineer moves into flank. Nice handling right there. Jeep and another flank against the central position. And I am busy, mate. And again, skirmish means replay. Jeep could be going down right here. Flamethrowers also from the Wehrmacht. Assault right there by Spanky did not quite work out for the fatherland. Well, went up, so the 17th does have chosen a much more defensive posture. In this case, digging in and hoping for the spirit of the fatherland to protect them against bullets or something. And someone from the US side is complaining that they thought this would be the quiet part of the war. Not entirely sure who had convinced them of that. Possibly Spanky, though. Second MG covering right here. Nice position. Although it could be flanked from here, but so far doesn't look like it. Bunker going up. I'm not too keen on this bunker position. It's probably going to be a medic bunker, but I mean, usually here or here would be better. Again, why would you then think I would say that? Because, again, Bocage can absorb some of the artillery fire. Then this is, you know, a bit more out in the open. A bit more of an easy target. Plus, of course, an anti-tank gun could knock it out from here. Anyone could easily rush it. It's, in that sense, a bit more of an exposed position. Well, in this case, looks like he might be sending in the MG42 to take up an initial position. Helmut setting up. Heinz looking out the other window. And Fritz looking out the third. Well, the sort of looky thing. Rifleman hiding there, but quickly moving out. Nice hold so far for the Americans. On the course of medic bank going nice. No attempt at actually salvaging that Jeep. That's a bit of a shame. Volkskr's rushing back. The MG42 still remaining there. Krieg barracks going up. Supply it up. Trias center up. We might be seeing a motor pool next, for all I know. And there we go. Nice flank right there by Spanky, hitting from one side. From several sides, in fact, veterans also up for the infantry, and there we go. Several riflemen quickly dropped, trying to get close. Flamethrower pioneers moving in. Medic bunker upgraded. Riflemen being pushed away. Engineers pushed away. And there we go. The Krieg barracks is finished. Motor pool going up. So the 4th armored, was it? Yes, 4th armored anyways. Sometimes a bit hard to remember when everything else going on. But are getting a bit of reconnaissance, some mechanized cavalry, as they like to call it. Volker is holding up here quite nicely with some pioneer Unterstützung. Medics moving out. Riflemen pushed away. And artillery up, infantry up. So again, a better placement here could really turn out to be vital. But again, that's not what's happening. And again, those sensors, you know, thinking ahead with your bunker placement can tend to pay off a bit. Probably not indefinitely, but still long enough, you know, to get some troops back on their feet. Volkskr's are pushing up. Pioneers pushing up. Another engagement right here. Flamethrower engineers moving in. Riflemen here could find themselves outgunned, though. Although they did managed to get Helmut. MG pushing up. There's more pushing up, but again, ooh, nice flank. This could really prove to be a problem. Although what this is, Grenadiers are out. You could also consider the mortar, perhaps, or a half track. But no, the Grenadier, and there we go. Artillery going in straight on the MG42, on the linchpin of the defenses of your micro. Oh, almost close getting the MG. Nasty hit right there. Oh, and a rifleman flanks in. And he gets the MG crew. Absolutely amazing kill right there. Fritz never knew what hit him. Partly because he was also slightly getting unconscious from all the blood loss. So he wasn't really paying attention to who was shooting as much as he was bleeding out. MG42 though pulled away from the western front to contain the Americans. Continue pressure, and actually he's moving it because Flamethrower Engineers moving in. We are seeing Pioneers pushing up. No, the MG's pushed off. A nice Wehrmacht push right there. Volks Grenadiers. Grenadiers moving up the right hand side. Panzerschreck on the way. Probably worried about vehicles and what will be next. Veteran C2 for the infantry, perhaps not a pack. Since you are getting a Panzerschreck. Right here not suffering. Well, suffering. Volks Grenadiers here also need to be careful. Oh, bloody close that. Bloody close that. Grenadiers moving up. Riflemen pushing in. Sudden carnage, and at the same time Spanky is going hard for the western flank as well, going for the resource there. Grenade killing several riflemen, but both retreat, and the Greyhound is out for Spanky. And the Volksgrenadiers are requesting Verstärkung as they're caught out in the remains of the field. And the Greyhound is pushing in, though not fully upgraded. A bit bold by Spanky. One good pack hit could of course knock it out, but currently that's not what's happening. And artillery goes in. And the medics are running through the blooded fields, through the corn rows, stalks of corn, whatever, to pick up poor Heinz, who is wounded, and manages. Nice harassment attempt over here. The riflemen will quickly pull away. And we see a mine actually being set off right there. Lovely. No pack though. Kein Panzerabwehrkanone. Bunker repair, that's going to be vital, of course. Greyhound a bit there, and he's still not upgraded. He must not have enough munitions for it. That's some pretty risky stuff. He must really be feeling confident that he's not going to lose it right away. Though again, he's also, mind you, playing rather conservatively with it. He's not going to be rushing in because, again, he could easily risk it turning into a bonfire. But almost done with the full Grenadier squad. Another flank, eastern flank, and setting up for western assault as well. This could be a nice overall envelopment of the central position right here by the bunker, which could prove to be very, very lethal for your micro and the 17th SS. There we go, pushing up the center, at the same time pushing in from the left and the right. Heavy pressure for the fatherland goes up in a desperate bit. Grenadiers reformed though from the medic bunker. Wounded and patched up sufficiently enough to rush out and try and kill some Yankees. MG on the run, but oh, he lost another MG. Both of his MG42s are gone. And he's actually floating a bit of resources. Riflemen taking minor losses. The Greyhound still firing away, but finally with armored skirts. Panzerschreck hits, but won't be doing as much as it otherwise could have. Another squad of riflemen is sent home. But your micro is definitely under a lot of pressure. He's losing a lot. He's not gaining a lot in return. Though it looks like he could soon get another Grenadier squad, which is definitely paying off for that bunker, and certainly doing the best to sort of minimize overall losses, and certainly keep the attrition aspect actually in his favor, because again he's going to be losing a lot less comparatively to his opponent in that sense. And there's of course, you know, again we see artillery which could knock out entire squads if he's not careful. But 3 grenadiers and 3 false grenadiers. He definitely has the infantry advantage now. If only Spanky had a medic station of his own. More artillery ranging in, not quite hitting the bunker though. Armor car on the right. The riflery actually facing quite of a middle position. Several false guys and grenadiers could be doing their best to stall them. Grenadiers hiding in the building, but we are seeing lots of flamethrowers being directed against it, scorching the dining room and the kitchen. While at the same time the assault goes up, the center continues, but the riflemen and the grenadiers and false guys are taking a heavy toll. And what is this? Another MG-42 we're seeing taking up as well. Storm Armory on assault phase on the way. Might be going for the cutoff there as well. Pretty ballsy. Not bad though. And Panzerx being handed out in further larger numbers. There we go. Catching the rifleman veteran 2 though already. And there we go. The attempt at the choke point. At least for resources. Let's call it a resource choke. And there we go. Managed to render neutral. More troops are pulling up. And MG-42 setting up as well. Some grenadiers that are taking an awful heavy toll by the rifleman right here, getting caught out in the open by the false grenadiers. Artillery going in. And there goes Yourmicro actually trying to spread out his troops. That's definitely the way to go, though he should be careful. Perhaps move up. And never mind. Shed collapses under the punishing weight of 150mm shells. By the looks of screenshots, the Soviets will have something heavier. Apparently 122mm howitzer, plus of course the 120mm mortar. And let's quickly do this bit of reinforcement. Another Panzerschreck. Holding the cutoff right there, that could definitely hurt Mr. WMDSpanky and the 4th Armoured. Frotska squad moving in to deal with the rifleman right there. It's going to be rather imperative for Spanky to hold this area while he's of course continuing to push. No, the enemy's actually retreating. He's feeling threatened out here on the right flank. And it's thus receding his line to sort of try and cover this better. But at the same time, of course, he's going to set up, well, leave the flank open potentially. And of course allow them to retake there. So there's definitely not without flaws. Storm Armory though almost done. Almost done, almost done. The Greyhound still proving a threat as well. And there we go, the Storm Armory is up. And a Nebelwerfer is on the way. And another bit of artillery. Riflemen rushing through some craters, but are quickly suppressed as they reach more open ground. Bullets tearing through the fence, and Larry. Lenny is the next to fall, and then Robert. The MG though is still fighting in flank, but manages actually to turn about and suppress the rifleman. And the assault right here on the flank continues, having to cut off this larger infantry force and do some damage. And more specifically hit the weaker spots, which is definitely a nice move. Nebelwerfer almost done. Still no pack, but again with the artillery of course, he might risk losing it. Though perhaps then he should consider either an armored car to hunt it down with the Puma upgrade or a Sturmgeschütz. There we go, Greyhound. Ooh, it's the medic bunker, I think. But there you go, heading in from the rear. Engineers down quickly. And the armor coming in to deal with the MG. Could be seeing another MG going down for Yourmicro and the 17SS. Volkswagen's pushed away from the north. Again, another MG lost. That is 3 MG-42s completely gone. For the Fatherland goes up. Volkswagen is suffering a bit. Nebula for so far not actually shooting. More artillery being applied. Volkswagen squad down. In fact, I mean, again, suffering heavily. Again, the one thing that primarily seems to be holding him in the fight, of course, is the medic bunker, keeping overall losses down, recuperating some of them. And while certainly some like to consider it's free infantry, of course, I mean, overall, I mean, you're not going to get everyone back. And even then, of course, you're still paying for the reinforcement of others. could still end up actually paying a lot just to get one grenadier squad in a sense. But certainly it sounds easy, of course, just call it 3 grenadiers, because that way you're also sort of taking away some responsibility of your own, instead of just admitting, perhaps I should have persecuted this fight a bit differently. Troops are getting pinned, suppressed, bunker almost down. Niebler for so far did not do much. Bunker is still standing, although clearly not the place you want to receive first aid, or any kind of aid. Not even lemonade. Governor pushed away. Armored car on the way, that's good. And we are seeing the lightest MG-42 up as well. Panzerix flying through the air. Ooh, one connects. And then we got Tilly to lay down some covering fire, or blockade fire, to ensure they can't rush straight in. Nice move. In fact, completely retreats over the grenadiers. Although the ones with the LMG are still there. Of course, not the only LMG that you Germans used. There was also the 34, although that was largely for more second-rate units, like the Luftwaffe field divisions. While the units basically couldn't get an MG-42. Still quite the effective weapon. Repairing the bunker again, the Widerstandnester. Slight movement up the right flank. Pushing up the centre. Left flank seems a bit more safe at the moment. Ooh, the grenadiers with MG can't really do much against the armoured car. German armoured car moving in. If only the LMG was there. And Greyhound might go down, might go down, might go down. Still no idea why he's keeping the LMG chaps there. Of course, you could consider getting additional MGs from, or at least LMGs, to sort of help, deal with the American infantry. The more, the better in this case. Since when you add in a few more, the volume actually gets rather nasty. Plus, it can activate against suppressing troops. Armor car that pushes in. We could see the anti-tank gun getting cleared out. That would be really, really nice. And of course, currently things are looking less great for Spanky, who's being pushed back. He could actually consider just going straight for the heavy rocket battery, I think, and just knock this thing out. In which case, I think it could actually be largely GG for Spanky. But no, he gets the armored car sticky bombed. The anti-tank is trying to get away, but I think it might, yes, get cleared out. And he is hunting here. The LMG chap's not moving up again to help. I think that's a bit of a shame. Grenade goes off, killing a bit. Now we do see the grenadiers responding a bit more vigorously. The Panzerix not really suited for dealing with infantry, at least not out in the open. But the riflemen in the end do suffer 2 punishing casualties and must rout. And finally also seeing some movement up the western flank again, trying to deny resources and thus population to Spanky. I still think he should try and go for the heavy rocket battery and basically, knock this thing out. Might even get the Trias center and possibly even, fatally damage the supply up. But at least, get the Howards out of commission. That would definitely prove to be the death knell, I think, of Spanky's forces. Instead, it is allowed to, in fact, continue blasting away. In fact, he's soon got the munitions for it. But he's actually building more bunkers. He's probably going for MG bunkers, but there's one slight problem for him right here. I mean, those bunkers will get knocked out if he doesn't have anything to knock out the howitzer. There's definitely something to consider there, I would argue. More artillery going in. Oh, nice hit on the grenadiers. 4-man gone in the blink of an eye. Some of them just turn into a puddle of blood. Ravnar continuing to try to hunt down the armor car. Grenadiers doing their best to contain the madness, but no success. Sticky bomb on the Schwerer Panzer-Speedwagen, and it is gone. Oh, it's actually time to have a look at WMDSpanky. My apologies, I got so caught up in the fighting. Nice push up the left flank. both supplied upgrades. That's great. Registered artillery. Again, I don't really think the munitions usage is the most good. He should be focusing on getting this down with the heavy rocket barrels. Again, I think that could pretty much win him the game. Otherwise, I mean, this could in fact turn things around for Spanky in the longer run. Tank depot going up. And the Needlewerfer howls a dirge. Try and contain the harassment at the victory point. No! He's not actually firing there. He's firing straight at the rifle far away. Going for the fuel. Nice attempt at counter-artillery by Spanky on the Needlewerfer. Doesn't quite succeed though. Still kills some poor bastard.
Enemy unit down.
Oh! Nice! One shell went a bit astray and actually managed to get the Needlewerfer direct hit.
Observation posts report we are losing a sec.
And of course, the question becomes how will he pursue this? Veterans is free for the first squad of riflemen. That is definitely going to get very painful for the Wehrmacht. And again, note the LMG does not fire on the move, but he is making a push. Although, of course, he's also creating an artillery target,
Bases under enemy fire.
which is definitely one of the things you should always be careful about with the while playing against an opponent with artillery or airborne. Blobbing up, not a huge fan of that. There is. And yeah, we say there's always better ways to do things. And again, also a bit ironic for someone goes, your micro is shit. And then of course he proceeds to blob up. Oh well. Rifleman on the run. More artillery fire, they're not quite anything. Although we do see veterans who one up. And we are seeing a sniper out for Spanky as well. We're also seeing the LMG getting off some nice hits, I think. And the sniper's actually out. Ooh, careful, careful. An LMG 42 can actually quickly tear through a sniper on the retreat. I've learned.
Scraps are grabbing our territory.
More Needlewerfer fire, and the sniper moving out rather far on the flank. Gets a grenadier, he needs to retreat. Oh, Needlewerfer going in.
They've destroyed our barracks.
And the barracks is actually gone for Spanky. Anti-tank and also getting cleared out. Although the DMG gunners are getting a bit shot at. Will the armor car actually follow out of this? No, we are seeing artillery going in. Somewhere over the rainbow. Right here, the grenadiers hoping to get a full squad. And another squad of riflemen gets veterans free. This is quickly getting very, very, very ugly for the Wehrmacht. Meanwhile, the armor car does what it can to deal with the flank.
Artillery! Keep you alive.
And medics find themselves going down. We are now seeing a small defensive line being erected right here. Several MG bunkers up to do their best to stop the American advance. Could do something certainly, but could also risk quickly getting knocked out. In particular the tank depot. Although he's not getting a tank, he's getting a tank destroyer first. Would recommend a tank to help deal with the infantry, but a tank destroyer could also be useful against the armor car and the bunkers. Would also be rather vulnerable to the grenadiers. And of course Spanky realizes what is up and what needs to be done. So immediately sets about trying to dismantle the defensive line that goes throughout the center. Well, it's not an awfully strong one. It's basically just a pair of bunkers. There's no real heavier bits to go for it. And he's still relying largely on armored cars, not even no Stooks. I think that could have been helpful. Anti-tank gun recruit. Again going for that western point. There it is, and Volkswagen patrolling on the watch. And there we go, the tank destroyer rolls in. Hellcat has spotted its prey and unleashes hell, but misses. That's less impressive. There we go, though. Rifleman moving in. An armored car is gone. Wrecked no more. Registered artillery again. Why not some sort of heavy rockets to be leveled against the howitzer? And the anti-tank gun joins in the fun with the bunker.
We're losing a strategic sector. Enemy unit down.
And oh, I think he got a grenadier squad with the howitzer, even being behind a Panzerträger. That's great for the Americans. Less great for the Germans. Oh, house catches on fire. The rifle inside. The building could collapse with the rifle inside, but no. The building does not fall apart, collapsing on the rifle, and they do manage to escape the burning barn inferno. More riflemen are advancing. Some now with dual Panzerträgers. Not really useful against the infantry anymore. So that could prove to be a bit of a problem for your micro. And the 17th SS, the sniper keeps raking up the grenadier kills. And both end up retreating. And we do see some LMG grenadiers once more on their own. And now only one bunker with the MG in it left. Riflemen, though, are charging straight at it. Grenadiers are a bit afraid to hold near it. Nebelwerfer moving about. Bit of nice flanking again up the west. No further things on the way for Spanky. The reducer grenadiers adding in some MG fire to the bunker, hoping to keep the Americans head down and perhaps kill a few, while the bunker itself is getting plastered with fire from the anti-tank and the Hellcat. And additional artillery fire going in as well. Very close to getting the grenadiers, very close. And oh, they are lost. And the MG-42 is lost in the process with them. Rather tragic. And again, there comes the major flaw in how your micro has pursued this fight. He should have done his best to knock out the howitzer. Sadly, he did not. Or at least he should have teched up to get something a bit more armored. But that hasn't happened either.
Infantry squad reporting down.
But now moving in, and let us return to your micro. With only 3 grenadiers left, 3 pioneers, 2 Nebelwerfers and an armored car, he is definitely a bit in trouble. And now we do see the heavy rocket barrage up, and it actually looks like he's going for the Flak 88 first even, which is just plain silly when he's clearly got no intention of using it. And again, had he gone for the rocket barrage faster, he could have potentially seen off the howitzer and again probably saved the lives of many a grenadier. And made it rather much more difficult for Spanky to do anything.
Unit down.
Another unit down and another grenadier squad gone, although another reforms immediately. More Nebelwerfer rockets raining down death. We are seeing the battle phase up. Panzer Command will be on its way, I imagine.
Grenadiers, pay attention. You're losing a sector.
But the 17th SS are in a very, very dire straits. Bit of engineers moving in, up close to the grenadiers, and are quickly run off. Armored car joins in for the fun. Riflemen hiding up in the building. Veterans free, catching the grenadiers out in the open, spitting down death from the Browning automatics, and then one Garance on the grenadiers, and even catching Helmut in the stomach. And this bunker is still standing, having constantly been bombarded. Oh, medic flies past. And we might see this bunker actually going down. And there we go. After quite a bit of artillery, it finally bites the dust. 2 tank destroyers are out for Spanky, by the way.
We are losing ground.
And this armor car is going to be in trouble. Again, the lack of armor is a bit problematic, in particular again when the Grenadiers are basically rushing around willy-nilly and thus not really achieving any sort of potentially good anti-tank zones. Since they're not exactly anti-tank guns. Needle rovers though going in towards the center, hoping to keep the Americans' heads down.
We have 300 points left.
And a Panzerkampfwagen 4 is on the way. The 17th did have a few, though they were basically the command Panzer variant. As they still technically had a Panzer battalion despite it being fully equipped with Stug otherwise, so they got still command tanks.
Our base is under attack.
They were only Panzer force. Will not say Panthers. Rather than although coming under fire from the MG on the Panzer command. Rather now getting slowly pushed back by a rather depleted Grenadier force. They're not really suited even for hunting infantry.
Yankees are grabbing our territory.
No veterancy for the Panzers. That could mean this Panzer IV will have a very, very short lifespan. Let's just beat this up a bit. Another armor car, is it the same one? Oops. Panzer IV advances. Bit on its own. 2 tank destroyers now going in. The Panzer IV is in dire straits. Sticky bomb, come on, Fraps. And there we go. Just as the Panzer IV dies, Fraps restores sanity. Not sure what went wrong there. But veterancy 2 for one of the Hellcats. That's definitely going to make it much more lethal as it increases its penetration. Pioneers, Grenadiers are rushing in the aftermath. But it is simply too late. And the Panzers generally, I think, arrived too late. And again, there's still nothing being done about this house with 22 kills and 1 vehicle kill and veterancy 3, which pretty much means it's going to be raining artillery down like a train on a timetable. Raven rising in against the Grenadiers. The armor car doing what I can, but it's looks like the Raven retreat as well. More need for 5, but it might simply not be enough, and we might. Hopefully we'll be seeing some shams out for the 4th Armament. Another Panzer IV on the way. Still no veterans here by the looks of it. In fact, only 2 levels of veterancy for the infantry and that's it. No veterancy for anything else.
Our base is under attack.
Mortally against the base. The Sturm Army and the Needle River caught right close. There we go. 2nd Panzer IV rolling through the dirt and smoke. Panzer Command getting hit. The guys inside it possibly not liking that a bit. And 2 snipers now going through the Grenadiers. Definitely a nice choice in dealing with the Grenadiers, although another Panzer IV might help. But again, it's on its own there. 2 Hellcats, one of them is veterancy 2. And there's still no veterancy for that Panzerkampfwagen 4. There we go, nice hit from the Hellcat. And Panzer IV simply can't do enough damage in return. Already down to half health. And next shot, and it's going to be good night, Panzer IV. Which again rather highlights the problem there is for Yourmicro, who's clearly not Rommel, Guderian, Manstein, or any sort of good German armor commander. Certainly no Erhard either. And artillery going in as the Germans are retreating. Will they be able to escape this direct hit on the base? Looks like it. Bloody close though, they need to move. And the Hellcats, oh no, Panzerschreck flies through the air and with unerring accuracy knocks it out.
Heavy recon, ready for action.
MG from the Wehrmacht calls down the Kriegbags, firing away at the East Veterans, 2 riflemen. And artillery! Oh, blowing up the Rukash, not doing quite anything else. The Nebelwerfer cleared out. Grenadiers advancing. Right hand side, but again, not with much success. Anti-tank are moving out, interestingly enough. Knight's Cross now coming out. The 17th apparently being a bit desperate in that department. And we are seeing a huge amount of resources being flooded by Spanky. Of course, he could call in an off-map combat group or get, well, 2 Shermans in fact. But I do think he should spend the resource sort of apply full pressure. Although, of course, he's not going to have much to worry about, particularly if he just gets Shermans. I think he'll probably just finish it off quite nicely. And he's a bit in the line of fire, and then gone from it. Oh! Anti-tank gun. Got the last armoured car. Next course moving in. Sturmgewehr's firing. Then he's advancing. Needwerfer's firing. Anti-tank are getting rushed. And the NGA setting up the positions in the house. Ooh. Nice hit on the rifleman. Snipers run through all of the carnage. Still filling out the resources. Come on, Spanky, how about using it? You get 3 Shermans by now, I think. And pretty much steamroll the opposition. And a few Grenadiers trying to hunt down the anti-tank gun. The anti-tank gun desperately trying to tow it away, but there are only 2 men now, and it's still a pretty heavy anti-tank gun. There we go, though, cleared out, and the anti-tank gun does get wrecked. And now the Knights Cross appear a bit too late to the party. And another squad gets veterans free. We're talking 3 squads veterans free. That's definitely going to be a problem for any infantry that your micro and the 17th SS might have left, since they will be able to do an awful lot of damage. And let's just speed this up a bit before Flaps decide to throw another tantrum. Another squad rolls out, but again, not much is left at all.
Sniper ready for orders.
And there we go, 3 Shermans are on the way. 4th armoured going for the finish. Artillery going in and knocking out the last Nebelwerfer.
We are losing a sector.
And Wehrmacht quarters gone as well. Sweep against the veterans infantry rifleman here. Hellcat could also find itself knocked out. Artillery going in. Of course, rather climbed up infantry again. Your micro seems to be a bit too addicted to just climbing up his troops. And a rocket knocks out the Hellcat and sends it careening into a shed. There's pretty much nothing left of the territory that your micro and the 17th SS once had. Again, a bit of radius of artillery. He seems to, again, not really bother with the howitzer, despite the howitzer doing so much damage to him.
Enemy has 100 points and counting down.
Now catching the Grenadiers with the Sherman, snipers and riflemen. Although a nice volley of Panzerjacks almost knock it out. Snipers might want to fire. There we go. And this Sherman, though, perhaps might not do anything, which is definitely a shame. Grenadier squad, though, down. And another Sherman rolls in. Snipers and everything else retreats. Ooh, Sherman misses. And another register. So again, he's obviously had the munitions for another rocket barrage. He could have tried to knock out the howitzer with, but again, it never happened. And another Grenadier is gone. Victim to the Sherman. Another Sherman getting ready.
Seizing territory from us.
And attempting to secure the victory points and stop the drain that way. It largely looks like the 17th is down the drain. 2 Shermans now. Riflemen pulling up to the base, or will what remains of the base. Bit of grenades, the riflemen pushed off. Snipers moving up. Shermans also ready. Another Panzer IV, the third one. That would actually be the last. Yeah, as they only received 3 Panzer IVs for command purposes. Knights crossing grenades moving, and the Knights Cross are simply getting obliterated. Panzer IV moves in, right in front of the 2 Shermans.
Enemy unit down.
Ooh, Panzer X adds a bit. Another Grenadier squad, though, is lost. 1 Sherman could go down to combined Panzer X and Panzer IV fire. But the Panzer IV itself, again, is also taking an awful lot of damage, and there's still no veterancy for it. I mean, that's not really inspiring. Ooh, Sherman misses.
Enemy unit
Tully goes in, another unit down. And there we go, Panzer IV is down. Knights Cross moving out, only 1 Grenadier left with a Panzer X at all, otherwise it's 2 Knights Cross. There's nothing else left, in fact, but the Wehrmacht, the Reich Headquarters, a Kampfkraft Center, and the Panzer Command. More artillery. Just speeding this up. This is pretty much GG. Yet your micro does not really seem keen on giving up.
battle is ours.
So let's just speed this up before Fraps decides to make another funny appearance. And GG.
To 25 points.
There we go, just running in to finish off the job. And a game over. Victory right there for the 4th Armored. 17th SS did not survive. And of course, I mean, we saw some interesting things. I mean, the start was alright for the Wehrmacht. I mean, he did lose a few MGs, but ultimately he was able to push through and push back Spanky quite nicely. Partly due to the medic bank, although again, placement could perhaps have been a bit better. Of course, what could Spanky have done? I mean, the armor car, you know, the artillery perhaps didn't do as much as it could have, so perhaps some of that munitions could have invested into upgrades for the armor car, which could have allowed it a bit more aggression early on. Mines could also have been nice for Spanky. We sadly did not see any mines or any barbed wire, which again could have impeded the infantry movement. So those were perhaps some things he could have worked on, or perhaps a half-track actually, with some quad upgrades. Could have done nicely. Also outgunning the Shermans, lovely. Of course, in the longer run, of course, we saw the Wehrmacht play gain an upper hand, but he never really pushed for it fully. He never really advanced, and perhaps he should have instead, you know, skipped the Sturm Army and gone straight for the Panzer Command. Just got Panzers fully. But what I definitely feel was one of the major mistakes was, you know, having all that munitions and then not investing it all towards knocking out this howitzer. Had he done that, I think that could have actually won him the game. Possibly with all the collateral damage as well. Sadly, again, did not happen. And ultimately, he sealed his own fate through that. Partly, again, by staying too much with the Grenadiers. And again, not enough veterans for anything of the other things. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers, and be sure to watch that new gameplay trailer when it comes out later this Wednesday. Cheers.